This episode is brought to you by Ariston Specialties in Bloomfield, Connecticut, makers of amazing olive oils and other Greek delights. Check them out online at aristonspecialties.com. That's Ariston, Ariston, specialties.com. Welcome to faithmiddleton.com. This is our new podcast home of the Food Schmooze Party. The All-Stars are with me, and I'm going to introduce them to you in a second. Bonbon, our mascot, my dog, is sleeping at my feet in his round, fluffy bed, as usual. Okay, so here's what's on the show this time. We're going to talk about if there is any fish that is like steak, it is swordfish.
Swordfish.
Mm-hmm. And so it's just, there are so many things that you could do with it. So we're going to have fun talking with each other and with you about how each of us tends to do swordfish. You know, you can just do it on the grill, or you can, do different sauces with it. It's such a universal thing. So that's coming right up. And so the All-Stars are Carl Franklin, who lives in a tree.
In a van down by the river. I want these.
We gotta keep that in here.
Show.
No, we gotta take that. We gotta keep that in, right? Okay.
Funny. Lives in a tree.
Okay.
Come on, they know we're buds.
That's true.
Okay, Carl Franklin, who lives in Quaker Hill, Connecticut, and we have Chris Prosperi over here, who lives in, Chris Prosperi of Metro B's, chef and co-owner of Metro B's restaurant in Simsbury, Connecticut, and Joanne Church in New London, Connecticut. She actually lives on a kind of pond, a brackish pond.
She lives on a lily
with
pad.
her wife, and so here I am, Faith Middleton, and so no more need be said about that. Okay,
Faith, I got a story. I can't believe I didn't tell you.
What?
I met a young woman and her father who live in your old house on Lower Boulevard. Isn't that crazy?
No.
Yeah.
He's got a daughter? Oh, that's crazy.
That is really crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Is that the most recent house, the one we were in, Faith?
Yeah, the stone house.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, that's wild.
Super cool.
Yeah, isn't that nuts?
Yeah. Okay, so let's get into the swordfish. Chris Prosperi, tell me. So the best is about an inch thick, right?
Oh,
it's probably the best, rather than... although if you have it in a sandwich, some people, some restaurants and stuff do it, little skinny things. But
I'll agree with that.
If you were doing it at home, if you could have it an inch thick.
Oh.
And Chris, I wanted to know from you, because you have to buy swordfish for your restaurant. I wanted to know, how is the price right now? Because I was very afraid. I actually called Chris up.
Yeah.
And I said, Chris, is this going to be bad if I think we should do swordfish, because I'm dying to have it. I said, is it like $1,000 a pound right now? And you said what? Go ahead, tell me.
No. Right now, it's actually one of the fish that have come down a little bit.
Wow.
And it's at a very, what I call a fair price right now. But a year ago at this time, it was crazy how the price swordfish went to. I was seeing it in the $30 a pound range, It was just crazy. And now, I don't know, I would say retail, it's back down into the 12s, maybe, 15s, which is a decent price for fresh fish.
Which is kind of how it's
for today.
It's how it's been for the past 5 years, I think, really,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good price. And you know what the cool thing about it is that it's so versatile. And even if you have people that are not big fish eaters, I notice anyway, they will always try a little piece of swordfish. And then within minutes, they're scoffing it down because you said in the intro, it really is meaty, like meat, right?
Yeah, it feels like meat. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's part of why I like it, because I am a meat eater and lover. A meat love her. I should put it like
Yes.
that. So, all right. So, I'm going to get to lemon garlic swordfish and swordfish kebabs with pesto.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to get to that. And so, Chris, what's your favorite way to do it, though?
I love the like piccata kind of style.
Oh,
yeah.
For sauce. But whenever I get swordfish at the restaurant, and I'll say at home too, it's a grill fish for me.
Yeah,
because
me too.
not every fish can be just the slap it on the grill kind of thing.
Yep.
There are tricks you can do for like trout and sole, putting it on foil and stuff to get it on the grill and get it to work. But swordfish, really salt and pepper, a little bit of oil, and boom, it goes on the grill perfectly. You get great marks, and if you do like a charcoal fire, that smoky flavor gets into it, and it is so good. So cooking method, I'm always going to say grill. And then, like I said, I love that piccata kind of, which is lemon, capers, white wine. So I start a little saute pan with you can do some red onion or shallots. Just throw that in the pan with a little bit of oil, saute that up, and then hit it with a little bit of white wine. Get that in there, reduce it down till it's almost gone. And then I squeeze a couple of lemons right in the pan there, add a good handful of capers. I always put in a little of the pickling juice from the capers in there too, like a tablespoon or so, and swirl that around. Then you can do, either lemon segments or some lemon zest, swirl them in there. And then I just finish it with whole butter. And then when it comes off the grill, I just take it and smother. And I do mean smother it in this sauce.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds so
amazing.
Good. I mean,
It's
I'm going to
so
cancel my lemon garlic because I think you kind of just described it, except for the capers. It's like
The best version of lemon garlic. Yeah.
wow, that is really good.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's so meaty and it's so hearty. It can hold up like a lot of fish you can't do with, I mean, I have dozens of recipes that even have olives in it. I mean, you can't put olives on all fish because you wouldn't taste the fish anymore. But swordfish, it stands up to those strong flavors.
And don't overcook it. Please don't. Please.
No.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
I got a quick story for you. When Emmy was a baby, so this is 1995, and my first marriage, we came from California where we were living, came east. We met with her aunt and grandmother, and it was the girls' night out. So I was babysitting Emmy. She was sleeping in the bassinet, whatever. And my ex-wife's grandmother was there. She's Sicilian. You'd think she could cook.
Yeah.
You'd think. She's
okay,
a terrible cook. So she said she cooked me a piece of swordfish, and I thought it was under the broiler for an inordinate amount of time.
That's a hard way of cooking it,
like
too.
a half an hour.
And she
Was it
says
half an hour?
45 minutes under the broiler with lemon. And it tasted like shoe leather dipped in battery acid.
Wow.
I know.
And she goes,
People
you gotta
are
cook
afraid.
fish. No, you don't.
Yeah, I know.
Some people eat it raw. There's a reason for that.
Yeah.
I called my cousin.
geez.
I said, dude, bring me some filet of fish sandwiches. I'm dying here. Bring me a cheeseburger.
I know. So Chris, what would you say? Like 5 minutes per side?
Yeah, if you're talking about a good inch, somewhere between 3/4 and an inch, I'd say somewhere around 3 to 5 minutes on each side, depending on how hot your grill is. But the easiest way to do is just take a little paring knife, the tip of it, and just take a little peek inside. I like it.
I cut about an inch.
Yeah, sure. Or cut it in half. You'll see.
I go way in there to see how it's doing.
Then you want to make sure swordfish is, cooked, but not overcooked.
No.
Okay.
There are some fish you can eat on the rear side. Swordfish isn't one of them.
Right.
But it can have still a good amount of juice left in it.
Hey.
A lot of times, like if I'm having a lot of people over to feed, what I'll do is I'll do them on the grill. I'll cook them 3/4 of the way or almost cooked. And I'll just put them on a little sheet pan, cover them with foil. And then once people are settled and I know we're going to have dinner, I just pop them in the oven for minute or two at 400.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
And then it finishes cooking. But you know what I mean?
That's restaurant style.
Instead of trying to time the grill, sometimes it's hard. Yeah. If you're doing 2 or 4 people, that's really easy. But if you start getting 6, 8, 10 people, it gets a little crazy, and then you can do it.
You could always use a thermometer.
It doesn't dry out. It doesn't dry out when you recook it.
No, because you're not cooking it all the way, right? You're still leaving it in the center. If you cut into it and look, you'll see that center line is pretty raw.
If you want to use a thermometer, we're about 145, right, Chris?
Yeah, 145, 150 when it's done. And if you want to pull it early, even 120, 130, and then finish it in the oven.
So what do you want it to look like when it's done? If you cut into it, I cut about an inch into it, and I really look in there. And so I can see, is it raw or is it, how am I doing? And so what's the look of it when it's done?
It starts getting opaque, and that's when you know you're cooked, right?
What does that mean, really?
Opaque is so you can't really see through it anymore. It's not shiny. It's dull looking. And you can really tell by just pressing on it, right? And if there's juice coming out of it and it's cooked all the way through, you're good, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You know what, though? I think that's really a chef thing. And that's where I'm going to catch you, because chefs can touch meat. And, they'll say, like if you go into cooking school, they'll talk about, touch the part of your hand, the extension of your thumb. And when it's like that, and then you touch this part of your hand, and when that's medium rare, and this is blah, 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 blah.
Oh, yeah. I can tell by swordfish. I can tell by looking at it. I don't even have to touch it. If you're really observant, you'll see little beads of liquid starting to pop out of the top. And that's when you know you're cooked.
So okay, but I'm going to do cancel culture on you for this.
I tell everyone, just cut it open with a little. I'll do it here at the restaurant when they throw me on the grill, because I'm not the best grill cook when you have 30, 40 steaks going.
I know.
But you've cooked 1,000 swordfish steaks in your life, probably. Yes. So you know what they look like, smell like,
Yeah.
Yes, but even when I'm not sure, I'll just take a paring knife, do a little incision, take a peek, and I serve that side down so no one even knows.
Yeah, that's
great.
Now we know.
Now people are going to, after listening to this, they're going to flip their steak over.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, you might catch one every once in a while.
When I go to Metro Beast, I'm going to look on the underside.
You might see a little incision. Not always. But if I'm on the grill, you might see that every once in a while.
I would welcome that, because that means the chef is looking out for me, right?
Instead of sending it out overcooked or undercooked. Yeah, exactly.
Or someone else has eaten this first.
Yeah.
It's like...
Nothing's missing. It's just a little incision to see if it was at the right time.
It's like a big bite mark
here
on
we
the
go.
side.
All right. We got to move this thing around now. Okay. So I'll just go up. This is like, when we're talking to each other, we're in different places. We're not all together. Usually, sometimes we are, depending on what COVID's doing, but it's like Hollywood squares, so they squares on our screens, and, you say like, hi, Chris. And, we're all looking down at everybody's square. So I'm going to go up a square to Carl Franklin. Hey. So, Carl, what's your favorite way to do it? Swordfish.
Okay. Unlike last week's recipe, which took an hour and a half for me to explain and required a tome, this is going to be easy. It's blackened swordfish.
Ooh. Yummy.
To blacken anything, you need the protein. You need butter. I would use ghee because it has a high smoke point. And you need cast iron and fire.
Wait. Oh, I'm jumping right in on you. Cancel culture. Okay, so I'm jumping in because some people, who don't have a lot of experience cooking don't even know what ghee is.
Oh, sure.
Can you just explain it to them?
Yeah, I think I did it on an earlier show, but I'll do it again. It's basically you can take butter and put it on low heat, a pound of butter on low heat, and until it bubbles and the stuff on the top settles to the bottom. Then it turns brown, golden brown, and sort of crispy on the bottom. Then it's done. It's toasty. It's like brown butter. But then you just pour off or strain out just the liquid part, and it's like butter oil, butter-flavored oil. That's what it is. It's the fat without the solids.
So here's another way. You walk into a store, And you go to the ghee section and you buy a jar of ghee.
It lasts forever.
Because it does last forever.
Yeah.
I've had this one by my stove right over there.
There's a place in North Stonington, Connecticut that makes it. Like, that's all they do is ghee.
Oh, really? Oh, that sounds great. And I don't even use, I bought it because I thought, this will be good. This is, it's not, it'll be like a butter-like, but, and I don't even open it. It just sits there as its kind of display item.
You know what's another quick way too is if you take a large container, take a couple sticks, throw it in like a glass container, put it in the microwave for a couple of minutes. I do a minute at a time and keep an eye on it so it doesn't boil over, but you just want to get it so it separates out. Right. So you'll see all the milk solids will raise to the top and then the whey will go to the bottom. And then I take that instead of trying to mess with it, I'll throw it in my refrigerator.
Right.
And the next day I grab it and I just sort of run it under warm water to loosen it up. And then I just pop it out. I rinse it, believe it or not, because it's solid. And the top I kind of scrape off. The whey kind of just washes off. And then you take that, melt it down, and you've got clarified butter.
That is just amazing.
Which is a different way of saying ghee. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I kind of like to make my own because I like to get it toasty brown. So like the brown nutty brown
because
flavor.
you're a good cook. Okay.
Well, anybody can put butter on low and walk away for 15, 20 minutes. I think it's easy. All right. So
he says.
So Carl, go ahead. Start again.
All right. So to blacken anything, you need the protein. In this case, 1 pound swordfish steak. Right? You need a cast iron pan on high heat. You need ghee, which we just talked about, and then Creole seasoning. If you want to talk brands, the most famous, easy to get brand is Tony Chachere's.
Tony Chachere's?
Oh, yeah.
I've never heard that.
Yeah. If you go to New Orleans, that's like the staple seasoning that you can get in every.
Or if you want to go old school, you can get Paul Prudhomme.
Paul Prudhomme, yeah.
I guess his line is still available in some
where
markets.
Do you get? Oh, really?
I see it Stop and Shop every once in a while, the Paul Prudhomme blackening spice.
Any kind of blackening spice or Creole seasoning.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you want to make your own, it's garlic powder, celery salt, onion powder, smoked paprika, ground thyme, oregano, and cayenne.
Okay. No one's going to do that.
Okay.
Nobody's going to do that. So that's it. So you get your pan smoking hot. You got an inch thick swordfish steak, just like everybody says, and you dip it in the ghee, and then you roll it in the seasoning. And then when your pan is smoking hot, you pour some ghee on the pan. It's going to smoke, but it won't burn because no milk solids.
Yep.
And then you cook that up, fry it, put on your fan, open a window because it's going to smoke.
Don't breathe in.
Don't breathe in.
And your smoke alarm is going to go off, I promise you.
2 to 3 minutes aside and you're done.
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Yep. And I'll give you a little hint, not hint, but a little tip too, Carl. If you have like a gas grill and you throw your cast iron pan on that gas grill on high, put the lid down, let it preheat there for about 30 minutes, then you can actually do this outside. And then you don't have that smoke in the house. Because I do it every once in a while outside because unfortunately, I don't have a fan that goes to the outside. It just filters the air. So it really just smokes up the house. But outside is really easy.
Here's another tip. Never cook a smoked blackened anything in a hotel room that has an oven. Okay. Go ahead.
No, come on.
Everyone to the street.
You don't have to say that out loud.
Oh, yeah, I
to
do.
The street.
I have to go back in time and listen to myself because I did that.
Does it have carpeting up the side of the bathtub?
Oh,
because that's always just an extra
sign.
star.
Oh my gosh!
For a hotel room.
I was, feeling lonely, but not then. They came a knocking and opened the door, and what the hell are you doing, Mr. Franklin?
One time I got there's a place in France where you can order. You can't get unpasteurized cheese any place. Except for this one place in France. And it's, I think it's still running. It's fromage.com.
Oh, wow.
And, it comes, they ship it to you and, it's so, the smell coming out of your mailbox is unbelievable.
A little pungent, is it?
It's unbelievable. So one time I brought the cheese with me, and I forget what hotel I was in, but I thought, I don't want to have this to sit in the refrigerator, so I'll bring it with me, and I brought it with me, and I sort of forgot.
Cats and dogs following you.
I did. No, mice.
That's funny.
Mice. There was like 3,000 mice following me.
Welcome to the Bad Ideas Show.
So I forgot, and then I went out someplace, and then I came back, and the room, was heated up because it was kind of cold out, and the smell when I opened the door was so unbelievable because the cheese had been almost cooking. This unpasteurized cheese was really crazy. But let's do a quick break, and then the Food Schmooze Party will be right back to you at faithmiddleton.com. So stay with us. I'm Faith Middleton. You are at faithmiddleton.com. This is where the new podcast home of the Food Schmooze Party is, with the All-Stars, Carl Franklin, Chris Prosperi, Joanne Church. Usually Mark Raymond is with us, but she's on the road, and we're going to let that be okay. And so we're talking about swordfish, all the ways to do it. Okay, Joanne Church.
Hey, so
how do you do it?
The trees we live in are in Connecticut. So Connecticut, we have fresh swordfish June through October. So I really only eat it in the summer. And like Carl and Chris said, like on the grill, hot on the grill. Yeah. So for the 1-inch steak, I would do 3 minutes each side on a hot grill. But what I guess you would call it a marinade in the summer, with a little olive oil, lemon juice, which I will always start with. And then if I have mint or basil, both in my garden, and just put that, brush that on the swordfish and put it on the grill, and it's delicious.
Oh, that's good.
And I also love swordfish with tacos, like mango salsa. It's that's like the perfect thing for swordfish. Yeah,
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, what do you do with your leftover swordfish?
My mom makes a pineapple salsa for swordfish.
Oh, I know.
Like hot chilies and pineapple.
Ask her if she can come. Can she come over to my house? Because I love pineapple swordfish. Okay.
But also, we're going to have a full moon in a couple nights. And at a marina, a swordfish captain shared with me that the best possible time to catch the swordfish is 3 days before the full moon. Of course, 3 days after the full moon. Because the swordfish eat squid, and the squid... The moonlight draws the squid up, so the swordfish follows them, so they get closer to the surface and easier to catch.
Fishing tips.
I love that. I have never, honestly, in 39 years of doing this food stuff, I have never heard that story before. That's so amazing.
Cool. Yes. Well, the tides and the moons play a lot of different roles with fish, but that's one for swordfish.
Yeah,
wow.
I've heard that.
Wow, that's great.
Really?
And off Block Island is supposed to be the best.
I've had swordfish on Block Island. Yeah. You see the boats coming in with it. You're just like, that's for dinner tonight. All the restaurants are lined up.
I know, incredibly good. And I've also seen lying about that, where they say Block Island swordfish. And it comes on your plate and you look at it and you say, this is not Block Island. Because it's so distinctive and beautiful.
It was bought at the IGA on Block Island in the frozen fish section.
There's no IGA on Block Island.
No, you have to, like I said, you watch the boats come in and you watch them, the chefs will come down. Sometimes you'll even see them in their chef coats going to the boats, and then they have these little little wagons, and they're pulling the fish in their little wagon back to their restaurant, to bury it in ice.
I know.
Like, I'm going there for dinner.
Yeah, in the summertime, if you have a boat, it's good to just go out and, see if you can come up to a fishing boat and say, hey, will you sell me? And oftentimes they'll just hand you lobsters and fish. Well,
did you remember on our last show we were talking about, seafood, and I was saying that I bought my grill, this little hibachi grill to the beach, and I would then just walk down to the dock in Provincetown, where I've been going since I was 5 years old, and I would say to any of the fishing boats, can somebody sell me, a piece of fish?
It's great.
And sometimes it would be this or that, or generally not swordfish, but,
the best.
Bluefish, usually bluefish. Okay. So, Joanne, that was really terrific. That was terrific. That might be an award-winning segment. As
so the captain who shared that with me, it's like, hey, she's telling all our secrets.
I know. Okay. So I was just going to mention the recipes, because swordfish is pretty simple. Just don't overcook it. You can cut into it to see how it's doing. Chris says you want it to be opaque, and he explained, you can tell that it's just cooked inside a little bit. But you don't generally want it to be partly raw in there, because it's not like sushi.
Right.
It's like, so I was going to say, because these are kind of self-explanatory, that I love to do lemon garlic swordfish, which is like what Chris was talking
Great
about.
Combination.
So I just did not do the capers, and then I think if you think swordfish is expensive, even at this price drop that it's had, the kebabs, swordfish kebabs, you just cut the swordfish up in these little squares. You don't even have to. It was like the dawning of, I don't know what to me, when I realized, why am I putting this on skewers? Yeah. I don't even have to do that. I can just put it on a plate like that, or a platter.
Yeah,
with all the veggies. Skewers, Yeah. So swordfish kebab, so to speak, with pesto.
Oh,
that is so good. And then I do rice on the side. Yeah. Yeah. And it doesn't matter if you have a jarred pesto that you like, buy it.
A lot of good ones.
And if you want to make your own pesto based on, maybe you've got a garden going with basil in it, you could do that too and make your own pesto. But you can, if you've got one that you like, that you buy, then, and I have some frozen ones that I just love. They're terrific. Yeah. Tastes like,
So do you use the pesto as a marinade, Faye?
Well, I don't, but Carl, that's a great idea. You really, really could. You could, so many things you can use as a marinade. Right. Lemon ginger. It just goes on and on. That's what's great about swordfish.
Oh, yeah. Soy sauce.
I guess if you wanted to do, the thing about pesto as a marinade, now that I think about it, is the cheese probably isn't going to bode well. But if you use the flavors, like if you got olive oil, lemon juice, and basil, and garlic, salt and garlic, and use that as a marinade, and then you added and mint, and then you added your pesto on top.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like smearing it on top after it comes off the grill.
I would basically put anything like an old shoe onto swordfish. It just can stand up to things. It really, really can. Okay. Does anybody have an extra one they want to say before we take off? No. Okay. No.
I think we got it.
This is where all the mouths close, and then I know. Okay. Oh my God, this has been so much fun. I am dying for swordfish.
Yeah.
Whether I get it in a restaurant or I get it, if you go into a restaurant,
you have to wait till June.
You have to. Yeah. Well, that's true. You're right. You're absolutely right.
You can suffer with frozen swordfish. Come on.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh no, we're getting fresh swordfish right now. It's just
from Florida.
Yeah, no, it's more up the coast now. It's like South Carolina. Yeah, North Carolina, South Carolina. Yeah.
Joanne, you were like the swordfish whisperer.
I know, right? Yeah. What's up with that?
What's up with that? Okay.
Oh my God.
There you go. All right, we'll see you next week, because we're on every week with the Food Schmooze.
Yay.
And join us, because pull up a chair at our table, because we love to be with you, and we love to be with each other. That's always been the magic of the Food Schmooze for me, to be with these folks. So we'll see you next time.
Okie dokie pokey.
Yay. Bye-bye.
Waiting for the summer to come.